Hello, everyone, and welcome to this June 2025 news episode of What's New in Cloud FinOps with myself, Stephen Old, and my good friend.
Franck Contrepoint.
This is the first time ever, Frank, that this is our second attempt to record something.
Yes, because my bad on the first. Oh, but my
Well,
bad.
it was a lovely idea.
Yes.
Frank decided to record it outside. His desk was a tree.
Yes.
And we got quite far. We got into like the second or third area.
Yeah.
Then you disappeared. Then I carried on recording in the hope that, like the fire alarm episode, that you would return.
Yes.
But unfortunately, you didn't. So there was a recording that shall never reach the light of day. The benefit of that is, for the first time ever, and Frank, you posted about this on LinkedIn, so I was more willing to share it today than I did on when we recorded it last week. You're using a new browser, trying out a new browser.
Yes.
And you use that to run the Google.
Yes. I tried to run the Google, to go to the page of Google and say, hey, find me all the FinOps news into this and create me something that is based on that other tab, which had the document that we use. And so the idea is that with that context, automatically the AI system had an extended context system. So by default, it's an agent almost. And the tool is the web browser and existing pages and eventually searching for new things. So, and it's
done some good ones.
Yeah.
It's done some good ones and a couple that weren't. But now we've managed to remove the couple that weren't, so people don't have to see me trying to feel around in the dark for what this has to do with FinOps. I also have then, I did some of the research beforehand, so I've added a few in that it had missed. But it's done. I mean, it's done a reasonable job. For sure.
Plus,
and it will get
FinOps
better.
It's hard. FinOps is hard because you don't know. If we were to say, hey, we want everything that has the word cost or billing, or it might be that the prompt was not great. So I think it would be worth going once into everything and have that one on the side and then say, hey, use these keywords that I use for Slack, AWS, and tell me, do you see them? Do you see the same?
Yeah.
Well, might work.
Yep, we'll keep it goes. I just need to install that on my personal machine and give it a go there. But anyway, let's get on with the news. And unfortunately, listeners, that does mean I'm bouncing around all over the place just because of how we've got like 3 different ways of putting things in. But we shall do our very best. And here you go. Here is the sound, Frank.
Excellent. So this is instances and compute. And the first one is AWS, so now generally available Amazon EC2 C8GN instance. And so to the C8GN instance, it's powered by the latest AWS Graviton 4 processors, 30% better compute performance, not price, compute performance than Graviton 3, which were the C7GN.
Hang on, so it's not even price performant.
No,
it doesn't even mention it at all.
No.
Wow.
And can offer up to 600 gigabit per second of network bandwidth to take advantage to scale performance while optimize the cost of running network intensive workloads. So in theory, you should use that only if you have network intensive workloads, such as network virtual appliance, data analytics, CPU-based artificial intelligence, and machine learning, AI, ML inference. And I find the CPU-based artificial intelligence extremely interesting because I know that Intel is building a new kind of hybrid GPU. So lots of things that GPU are doing can be done partially, or some of them specialized by the CPUs. So very interesting. But the C8GN instance is up to 48x large and up to 384 gigabyte of memory and up to 60 gigabyte of gigabit per second of bandwidth in EBS.
Is that all? So is that all?
Yeah, lots of numbers. The point is, I'd like to see the prices of these things. Where is it? Maxi, can we get the C7G? Let's see. How much is a C7G? Do we have that? No, I don't have the price either. Leave it there. We'll find that.
C7G pricing, I can get you quite quickly.
Yeah, and by in this case, C7 also C7G pricing, because I thought I was at the pricing, but I'm not. Here we go, C8.
Yeah, you've got to go through more screens than you've ever had to go through before, haven't you?
Absolutely. Capacity reservation.
EC2 on-demand pricing.
Gosh,
Here we go. Sorry, C7G.
Yes.
C7G for what size?
Pick one.
Large, because everything should have a large. 0.0723. And what do you want me to compare it to?
I'm gonna go to C8, I think it is for me. So C8G, C8G 0.07948. So 0.08.
0.72.
0.072, I hope.
0.072. Yeah. So it's 0.006 larger. So it's that's 8%, something like that.
Yeah, and they don't talk anyway. Interesting. So yeah, we're continuing that prices do not increase, but between instances, individual instances, but on generational changes, yes.
Yeah, and it's remaining 6.25, 7% around that mark. That's just a very rough guess, isn't it? But yeah, that sounds about right.
Next, still me, it's Amazon SageMaker AI training jobs announced general availability of P6 B200, which you can guess is powered by an NVIDIA B200, which is a GPU.
Gotta be expensive.
So yeah, look at that. Twice the performance compared to P5EN instances for AI training. And they feature 8 Blackwell GPUs with 1,440 gigabyte of high bandwidth GPU memory and 60% increase in GPU memory bandwidth compared to the P5EN 5th generation Intel processors, and up to 3.2 terabit per second of elastic fabric adapter networking. Wow. They're on the Nitro system as usual, and they probably cost tons of money.
Yeah, I'm just trying. Well, searching again. There's so many parts of pricing around.
And
around SageMaker.
They don't. Yeah, that's the thing. You say the Amazon SageMaker AI training job. So it's an instance type under Amazon SageMaker for me.
On-demand pricing. Here we go. So this is the B200.
B6 B200.
Sorry, I'm scrolling down. That one is not on this page.
I think it's only on-demand reservation.
Right. I'm looking at the on-demand pricing. Hang on.
They might not have. It's only in Oregon, by the way.
Only in Oregon. Okay, well, I was looking at Ohio, so that might be part of the problem. Oregon. Let me just search B200, see if it comes up. Here we go. B200 4x large is $74.88 per hour. The P5 48x large was $36 per hour. The P5e was $39. The P5en was $41. Yeah. So yeah, it's over double the P5 48x.
Okay, yeah, and they compare it with the P5en.
Okay, yeah, and for that one it is like 80% more at least. It's 41 versus 74. So.
Yes, but you have 8 Blackwell GPUs. So if you know that the 8 Blackwell GPUs are going to give you more than twice the performance of the P5en, or they're going to go much faster, it's exactly what you need, or as many models, you're just trying to cram as much compute power in the smallest possible environment and cost is irrelevant, then well done. That's for you. Otherwise, if you're cost conscious, have a look.
I mean, I built apps recently that cost less a month than that costs per hour.
Oh wow!
Even some. I built a small language model that costs a quarter of that a month.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I mean, that's just. Well, it costs a quarter of what that costs per hour for a full month.
Okay.
For comparison, yeah. So that's significant, right? So the first one for me is, and big thank you to Frank, by the way, for doing so much of the research this month. I have been a bit all over the place with holidays and work travel, and so he's done a lot of the research. The first one is unlocking more power with a flexible memory in Azure SQL Managed Instance. And so basically customize the memory to vCore ratio in your SQL Managed Instances, which is obviously Azure. So basically in standard series, you can now do as standard. You can have memory per core was 5.1. Now the premium series you can do 7 to 12, and for the premium series memory optimizer you can do up to 13.6. I think it starts down at 4.38 for the biggest ones. So there's lots of variances. So for like the 4V core, you can have 7, 8, 10, 12. Ratios, which is 28, 32, 40, 48. And then the smallest one, which you can only get on the premium series, is 128 V cores for 560 total memory options. So, and then that has various pricing pieces against it, how that's broken down, which is billing per GB per hour on top of the default memory, and there's a billable memory, which is the difference. So yes, that is interesting. More flexibility rather than having to go up to a new instance size to get your RAM potentially. So that is nice. The next one is you can use Open Telemetry with Azure Functions. And this is an article. I won't go too much on how to configure Function app to export log and trace data in an Open Telemetry format, which could then be ingested. Open Telemetry is really quite a good way forward when you've got multiple different forms of data being pulled out and you want to take it into one place to gain some additional benefits. You don't want to have multiple agents. So this is not just on Azure Functions really, but this allows you to suck in data in a open format similar to the rest. You can have a look at this in C#, Java, JavaScript, PowerShell, Python, and TypeScript. Boggles my mind that Java is still an option, but obviously it is. What is next? The next is Google Cloud. So this one is from, what date was it? June the 13th, 2025, generally available. The general purpose C4D machine powered by the 5th generation AMD EPYC processors. That's the Turin ones, obviously backed by Titanium. They're generally available for running mission critical workloads, including web apps, game servers, AI inference, web serving, video streaming, and data-centric applications. It is available in standard, high mem, and high CPU, which is pretty standard. The next one is that also generally available. This was earlier in the month, I want to say. So let me see if I can dig down and find it. Actually, this has grabbed it from the previous month, but I can't remember talking about it. Just in case we have, I'll just whip through it. The A3 accelerator optimized machine types are now available in additional regions, which includes Belgium and Netherlands, Mumbai and Delhi, and then Iowa, South Carolina, Virginia, Oregon, and Texas. Right, and that I believe is all of.
I think there is one.
Oh, hang on, no, there's one I found. Let's see if mine loads. It hasn't. It's gone to the top of that day, which never helps.
So it seems to be modify managed licenses, a C.
Oh yeah, generally available. You can now modify licenses attached to your disks. Previously, licenses on disk resources were immutable, so you had to delete and recreate the disks or engage the support team to make any changes. This feature provides greater flexibility for managing data licenses. You can now append, remove, replace, and view the historic license updates. You can perform in-place license upgrades, such as the Ubuntu to Ubuntu Pro, using the G-Cloud CLI and REST. And switch from pay-as-you-go to bring your own license models, etc. Review license changes and restrictions, and append RHEL to newer licenses, or ELS license to a newer version. So you can do that on the fly now. So that was that update. Thank you for reminding me which one it was.
Yoo-hoo.
Here's the noise.
We talk about the data DB's AI, because yes, now we add that one. So Amazon DynamoDB Global Tables with multi-region strong consistency is now generally available. And that's a big deal. So now you can have DynamoDB, so global, a multi-region strong consistency. So it allows you to have exactly the same data. You're guaranteed to have the same data in multiple regions. So it's not potentially consistent. I don't know. There is the technical term. I don't remember it. But overall, with this new capability, you can now build highly available multi-region application with a recovery point objective of 0, achieving the highest level of resilience. Usually this would cost tons. So I don't know what is the price, but provide. So always available, always read the latest data from any region. It's also removed the undifferentiated heavy lifting of managing strongly consistent replication. So it's ideal for building global application with strict consistency requirements like user profile management, inventory tracking, financial transactions. They are available in lots of places, and you can just start by looking at the DynamoDB developer guide or visit DynamoDB global tables page. And
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, DynamoDB is very useful and quite powerful, but it does surprise me that there's well, maybe this is them trying to push into that global, more into the
yes,
global tool, because for me, it's never quite hit those heights.
I did the AWS certification for databases, and the way it priced DynamoDB is just horrible. It's just horrible. They guarantee performance, but the way they guarantee performance mean that underneath you need to really understand that. I think it was when you reach 13 gig of a table, it's going to create a new instance, and all your reservations are going to be divided by 2, and it was all over the place. So that is, on one side, the feature is really cool. The other side is, I don't know if that just makes it even more complicated, but
maybe
that was the one. So global, that's done. The other one is Athena, which
your
I
favorite.
love.
Yeah.
Yes. Amazon Athena announces managed query result to streamline analysis workflow. So the idea is that it's a new feature that automatically stores, encrypts, and manages the life cycle of query result for you at no additional costs. So until now, when you were doing a query, you needed to give it an S3 bucket. And in that S3 bucket, it would save all the results of that query, of the queries. So that S3 bucket could go big very fast. And
especially some of the stuff you were doing.
Yes. I had tens of gig, hundreds of gig a day. And by default, there was no maintenance. You needed to do the stuff of say, hey, I want this cleaned every 24 hours, because the reality is you usually read the query result once, then they introduce, you could save more, but overall, that was still a pain. And so it seemed that now you can now choose to have Athena manage the results data for you. This allows you to run queries without first specifying the S3 result location, which is good for API calls, by the way. Ensure results are encrypted and avoid costs from storing query results after they are no longer needed, which usually is just after running the query. So that is quite a cool thing.
Nice. Okay, next one. This is one that came from Dear. Let me just make sure I'm on the right one. No, this one. Hang on, I've just pressed the button.
What's happening?
I've just gone on to the link. But it's fine. Oh, now I've gone backwards. Right, in BigQuery, you can now forecast multiple time series at once using the time series ID column option that is available in the ARIMA Plus XReg multivariate time series models. You can try this feature with forecast multiple time series with a multivariate model tutorial, and this feature is generally available. This jumped out to us because, as when we had our friend, was it Hank? Talking about time series data. That is what all of our data is. So it's your billing export, your CUR, etc. This is time series data. Can we use this to better forecast? And anything that is saving us time is a FinOps benefit, was the idea. But we haven't tested it out, but it's worth having a look at the tutorial if you are putting stuff into BigQuery, which we certainly were in my previous role. We built our entire billing engine on it.
I think it can be really interesting, because all these models are going to be based on the past. And if you, as the FinOps practitioner, you can start focusing on the future because the thing from the past works, that'd be absolutely amazing. I don't know, but yeah, that's my hope. Music. There we go. That's storage for you. So storage, I have Amazon EC2 now enables you to delete underlying EBS snapshots when they register AMIs. So EBS snapshots were always one of the things that any FinOps person needs to have a look at, because they're very easy to forget about. You do snapshots, and sometimes that just creates, you delete a VM, and a snap is going to be created as a backup system. And if you forgot to click or unclick the right button, it's going to stay there. And when you were deregistering an AMI, you had to separately delete it, associate EBS snapshot, and that was before. And now you could have, now you can automatically delete EBS snapshot at the time of AMI deregistration. And that's really useful when you have many or they are spread all over the place or whatever. So this capability is available to all customers at no additional cost and is enabled on all AWS commercial regions, including AWS GovCloud, including China, and in the AWS, in all regions.
Really?
Yeah, China and GovCloud included.
That is unusual.
Yes, so it's probably just a small software change.
Yeah, fair enough. Are we on to me?
Yep.
Right. Troubleshoot performance issues on Azure virtual machines using performance diagnostics. You can use the performance diagnostics tool to identify and troubleshoot performance issues on your Azure virtual machines in one of two modes: continuous diagnostics, which collects every 5 seconds. The continuous diagnostics is generally available for VMs and in public preview for Linux VMs, or on-demand diagnostics helps you troubleshoot ongoing performance issues by providing more in-depth data insights and recommendations that are based on the data that's collected at a single moment. On-demand diagnostics is supported in both Windows and Linux. So the performance diagnostics stores all insights and reports in a storage account that you can configure for short data retention to minimize costs. That's one of the reasons it's been pulled through. But it's also worth noting that actually sometimes this can help you determine stuff faster than billing data, which takes time. And so it's worth watching for that. And then straight on to me, there are in Google Cloud Billing enhanced forecasting models for increased accuracy in cost reports. Billing forecasts now better account for seasonality trends, data regularities, and missing data using an enhanced forecasting model that leverages AI to factor in various scenarios such as the following: intelligent handling of transient effects caused by known business events, for example, a new workload migrating causing a usage spike, a deeper understanding of seasonality, for example, various recurring patterns such as daily, weekly, monthly cycles in your spend, or for retailers, increases in usage during holiday seasons, and adapting to trends to remain relevant in changing environments, for example, new AI spend. Now, this is great as long as it talks about seasonal, and then talks about daily, weekly, and monthly. But if I've worked with customers who basically are linked to education, and so they drop off a cliff in the summer because they're barely used, and it's got to be able to track bits like that for it to become truly relevant. We're seeing more tools move into the market in this space. So Google first to try to capture some of that gap. Which is probably for the best because that's normally where new tools are weakest anyway.
I think we've jumped also because we were in storage and we're now in.
Oh, have I gone to the next one? Oh, I'm sorry.
But no problem. But on this one, which is quite interesting, I've been building
what have I done with that storage one?
that works on Terminal, and one of the things it does a forecasting, and it uses models. Some of them are standard, so it's easy to replicate back. But then it also uses Prophet, which is something from Facebook. And it's very interesting because Prophet does assumptions which are completely crazy when you look at them. I think I don't have enough data, but but it takes into account, you can say, this is a weekly seasonal, this is a monthly seasonal, or this is a yearly seasonal, and it should change the thing. I still need to test it extensively, but I do think that finally we're getting somewhere with forecasting.
Nice. For storage, I was meant to talk about the limit for matches prefix and matches suffix. Lifecycle conditions per bucket is increased from 50 to 1,000, and I guess that means, well, I didn't really grasp what the major benefit of this one was, but I don't know if you had thoughts.
No, it was mostly because it's a quota increase, so it means that you can do more usually at the same price. I didn't check if
I believe that's true. It's about what pulls back, though, isn't it? It's about the amount of responses it pulls back. Sorry, I've already started with storage, but with visibility.
Yeah, go with
shall I carry on?
There we go, visibility. I'm going to start. So now in GA, accelerate troubleshooting with Amazon CloudWatch investigations. As we just said before, using the logs is a way to get access to information first. And so I think it's important to, in this case, if it can accelerate troubleshooting, I can accelerate my investigation on CloudWatch, it's cool. So
Yeah.
CloudWatch helps you accelerate operational investigation across your AWS environment to just a fraction of the time. With a deep understanding of your AWS cloud environments and resources, CloudWatch Investigate uses an AI agent to look for anomalies in your environment, surface-related signal, identify root cause hypothesis, and suggest remediation steps, significantly reducing mean time to resolution. And my hope is that it does that also for cost problems, and find the signals, find the root cause, suggest remediation steps, all this kind of stuff. That'd be amazing. If it's not there, please start doing it.
Have you got a second one?
Yeah, I have the second one, which is AWS Invoice Summary API is now generally available. And so today, AWS announces the general availability of the Invoice Summary API. This allows you to retrieve your AWS Invoice Summary detail programmatically via SDK. You can retrieve multiple invoice summary detail by making a single API call that accepts input parameters like account ID, invoice ID, billing period, and date range. This can be absolutely amazing. Instead of receiving 40, 50, every time you buy, for example, an RI or savings plan, you get an invoice. And that can go easily to many a month. So if all of a sudden there is an API that you can call, it aggregates, you do some elaboration, you aggregate it and send it back to finance as just one thing that summarizes it all, I think they'll be extremely happy. I would be.
Nice. Indeed. So I've done my first two. So the last one I have in this area is that a new field's been added to the cloud billing data export, and hopefully therefore the rebilling data exports as well for partners, to prepare for the expanding of the spend-based commitment use discounts program. We added new data fields to the schema for billing, cloud billing standard, and detailed data exports to BigQuery. These new fields and more information about the prices charged for your Google usage and consumption models. That is interesting. We will see what that means for what comes down the line for the CUDs.
Could it be that this is me hoping, okay, this is hope as a service. Is it, you think that Focus is asking for this kind of detail and they are starting to put it back as...
I don't know if Focus has more detail than...
But they require for CUD style things. They do.
Yeah, they have got some standard bits they ask for, so it could absolutely well be that. I guess it could also be that there are some things in Focus that come, that maybe, is that effective prices in there, which is only an AWS thing. And so that it could be them meeting that, which is a useful metric. We'll see. Yeah. I don't know. I guess it could be that. It could be that. It could be that they're expanding it into more areas, I suppose, as well.
Yep.
Who knows? Right.
Commitments. So we have a 1-year EC2 instance savings plans are now available for P5 and P5EN, which there was a new one, by the way, that we've announced earlier. That goes above this one, the B200 one. But starting today, EC2 1-year instance saving plans are now available for EC2 P5 and P5EN in all regions where these instances are available. And what that says is that now that they've released a new instance, they are incentivizing people to use and commit to the old version and stay on the old version, probably because they don't have an infinite number of NVIDIA chips yet.
Yes, that would make some sense. Yeah.
Because I think they had only 3 years option. There was only a 3-year option before, and now there is a 1-year option. And honestly, committing for 3 years at this point in time for GPU is
mad.
Yeah.
I
think that's the right term.
Yeah, indeed.
Next one. So it's Amazon RDS for Oracle now offers reserved instances for R7i and M7i instances.
Let me see if I can find the pricing difference, because RDS for Oracle, like 80-90% of the cost is the license.
with up to 46% cost saving compared to on-demand prices. These instances are powered by 46% reduction.
That's massive.
So that might be.
It's that of the instance though. Is that? Oh, well, yeah. I guess it depends if it's
compared to on-demand price, and this is.
Amazon, I guess if it's license included, or bring your own.
No, apply to both multi-AZ and single AZ. Customer can move freely between configuration. You can, you start having some flexibility in there. Amazon RDS for Oracle Reserved Instance also provides size flexibility for the Oracle database engine under the bring your own license.
Bring your own license. That makes more sense. Yeah. So because as soon as you're doing, as soon as you're doing your own. So let's see if I can do an example. So 2x large on demand. Well, this is interesting. So this is the license included version, and it's saying the on-demand rate is 1.175. The effective rate, there's a lot of asterisks underneath that. Effective hourly price helps you calculate the amount of money a reserved instance will save you over on-demand pricing when you reserve. Okay, I suppose. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so we were happy with that. We're just talking about effective price. That was 37%, but that is for a small one. But it drops to 28 in the middle. Oh no, that's just for changing from to I's for the 6s. That drops to 28.
Yeah, this is R7I and M7I. It's very specific.
R7I, M7I. That is interesting. I can't even see them on the website pricing data. Maybe that's because they have to be under enterprise. No results found.
No, I think it's Amazon RDS for Oracle. They might.
Yeah, that's what I'm on, mate. Yeah, that's what I'm on.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, they give a price. There is a price table there. I will have a look. Let me see again. So where's the Amazon Oracle pricing?
I'm on the Amazon RDS for Oracle pricing page. It might be in the why the pricing bit has something else, but I don't have unless I have to go further down, I suppose. But I don't have the R7s on there at all.
Okay. License BYOL. And we depend the region, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could. I'm in Ohio, which is normally for. Oh, hang on. I'm go to Virginia. No, nothing's coming up.
Okay, well, that's the announcement, guys.
That's the announcement. Yeah. But bring your own license makes sense that it'd be that cheap because it's just infrastructure, isn't it? So what do I have? Well, it's quite a simple one. The resource-based CUD for M4 6 terabytes is now available. I did have this one open, but I'll go down and find it. There it is. A generally available resource-based commitment use discount are available for the M4 machine types that come with 6 terabytes of memory. I'm just loading the page that follows up because there's not loads on that. See if I can get a discount. You can attach reservations to the resource-based commitments. No, that's just the standard guide, and that it's been added there, but it's just for these big monsters that you can now have it.
Cool.
What's next? Well, we haven't got anything in pricing. I guess there have been different bits that could have gone in, multiple ones that could have gone pricing, but have gone elsewhere. So the next one is savings. In Dataproc, 0 scale clusters are in preview. So I have more detail on this one. Dataproc. Let me see if I can actually get better. Basically, it can be scaled down to 0.
That was the idea, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, even the article behind that, it just gives you the the CLI command. But yeah, you can scale them down to 0 now, which obviously saves you significantly, which makes it more like the serverless services that you have. It has to be working on versions 2.253 and later. Supports only secondary workers, not the primary workers. Makes sense, right? So you will still have to have something up, but for your secondary workers, you can have them scale to 0. And that is that. Noise.
FinOps. And I thought about this one. It's mostly because we all look for information from the cloud vendors on a regular basis. So announcing intelligent search for repost and repost private. And so this is where AWS provides some information. So they have the knowledge base. And so you have now a more efficient way and intuitive way to access AWS knowledge across multiple sources. This new capability transforms how builders, which is people, not AI builders, find information, provide synthesized answers for AWS resources in one place. So go have a look. Go to AWS repos, and you can start looking at some interesting information. It looks a little like Stack Overflow, but yeah, that's one. Next one was I've got lost. Yes, so we have Amazon Q Developer now helps customer optimize AWS costs. That could have gone into the AI bit too, but with this launch, customer can ask Amazon Q Developer questions like, how can I lower my AWS bill, to receive a prioritized recommendation based on potential saving, implementation effort, and performance risk. Customer can also ask detailed follow-up questions like, how was this recommendation calculated? Or how was this instance identified as idle? And receive narrative explanations. So what is very interesting, it seems that they've created, and I'm having some fun with that, with some sort of an MCP, so access to tools, so that Amazon Q can now access the all the billing data, the calculator, the recommendations, the optimizer, and provide you with some information. So that's quite cool. I recommend try it. I need to try it out. My bill is so small that it would just tell me, you have nothing to do, or delete all your data. That's probably going to be the only recommendation for me.
Nice.
Next, do we have another one? Is that next one is still minor?
Yeah.
Yes. So Cost Optimization Hub supports recommendation for Amazon Aurora. So Cost Optimization Hub now supports instance and cluster storage recommendation from Amazon Aurora databases. Again, something that could have gone so many places. But these recommendations help you identify idle database instances and choose the optimal DB instance class and storage configuration of your Aurora databases. So you can now filter, consolidate, prioritize, or optimization recommendation across your organization members account through a single dashboard. Yes, another one. And it shows you estimated savings and etc. And yeah, so that's another interesting bit to add to your capabilities, FinOps practitioners out there.
Indeed. We've got one of those funny ones, Frank, that has disappeared since the time of research. And it's quite a big one. The next one. Yeah. You click see if you have the same problem.
But I've seen it this morning.
You've seen it this morning. It was only there last week, so maybe they've just changed the article.
No, what I mean is, I think I've seen this morning that that Microsoft was supporting Focus 1.2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So basically, listeners, we had Microsoft Cost Management now supports exporting cost and usage data into the FinOps Open Cost and Usage Specification 1.2 schema, but the article that has gone 404. We've had this in the past when things have disappeared on us,
yes.
But we're just checking to see if it has reappeared anywhere else.
Yeah.
Now, something else has pulled up that it's been announced, but
they've also, Microsoft is going through quite a lot of changes at the moment.
It is,
and FinOps has been impacted too.
It has, yes. Certain people that we know and love are no longer there. I can't see anything on the Google anymore, apart from the fact that you can see that other news outlets. Hang on, we're not a news outlet. That sounded very arrogant. Other places have obviously seen that in their research.
Totally a news outlet. It's like we were asked, "Do you want to be press?"
Yeah.
Have you seen? Look at us.
That requires some level of professionalism. Right. What are we up to? Maybe it's been pulled, but you said you may have seen it this morning. I can't see it anywhere. Anyway, so the next one then is BigQuery Advanced Runtime Preview. The new Advanced Runtime can improve query execution time and slot usage, helping optimize costs. I've dug into the stuff while you were doing the last one. I can't see anything that particularly screams that to me, but it does make logical sense. That's one of the ones from the tool we were using. Another one we saw was that you can apply maximum instances at service level versus vision level now. And when applying maximum instances, the settings go into effect as follows. Service level is immediate, and revision level is upon deployment of revision. So tagged revisions and service level maximum instances are started, but only count towards the maximum service level if they're part of the this is tagged revisions, part of a traffic split. So this allows you to have more rapid impact, which allows you to potentially reduce cost. And then the final one, no, that's my last one. Yes, on that one. And I have got one at the bottom.
Yeah.
Which miscellaneous probably could have gone into it. Have you got another one?
Yeah, I have another one. I've added my tools. So the idea is I've been publishing on, if you look for me, so Franck Contrepoix on GitHub, you'll find I'm trying to build a Kerr anonymizer on one side. That's an open source project. And also some terminal-based little tools so that you can do some of FinOps without having to have a full tool set. You can just take the pieces you need, and slowly I'm going to grow the pieces, and you can pipe the output of one into as the input of the other, so you can change them in a way any Linux person will know how to.
Nice. So not me. Even though I'm using more and more Linux, I don't know how I do it. It's a lot of guesswork, a lot of Googling. Right. I thought I'd started one and got rid of it when it just said my tools. I thought it was my error. The last ones we've got Azure, Misc, and Silly. But this one is actually that you can maximize your ROI for Azure OpenAI. And let me just see what it says. I've now forgotten because it was at the beginning. We got it. I think it's an article, isn't it? Yeah. So on June the 18th, they did a 5-minute article, maximize your ROI for OpenAI. And it talks about when you're building with AI, every decision counts, especially when it comes to cost, and whether you're getting started or scaling to enterprise grade. The last thing you want is unpredictable pricing or rigid infrastructure slowing you down, and it's designed to help you do that. I've been doing more AI stuff recently, trying to really manage the cost and the carbon impacts of that. And it is possible, but you really have to have cost and carbon as a non-functional requirement in your design, because otherwise you can go absolutely mad for it. And and just start with the least and the smallest and build up from there. I think a lot of people are just going, oh, well, I might need that, and whacking on full. You've really got to think with a constraint in mind. But yeah, pretty good article. Talks about the different ways using it. So way to use Foundry, way to use the large batch, vision throughputs, that kind of stuff.
I want to highlight that. So I found the page, which was focus.finops.org/getting started. Get-started.
Yeah.
And it shows that Microsoft Azure 1.2 conformance gap review. But if you click on the link, so that's all good. But if I try to go to the Microsoft link, it shows 1.0.
Yeah.
It tells you now you can also export in Focus 1.0. So I don't know if they've removed the 1.2, but the FinOps Foundation reports 1.2.
So that, they'll have seen it, because it was last month.
Yeah.
And it was there last week still. So people will have built on top, like their sites on top of it, and then it is obviously disappeared.
Yeah, they've changed it on the 2nd of June. These documents summarize Focus 1.0.
Yeah.
So they seem to have done the 1.2 and removed it.
Feels like it, but hey, maybe something else is going on. Maybe it's just a website thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just maybe me not looking
Unusual.
at the right place.
Well, no, we've both looked. That's been a lot longer than we anticipated. All sorts of different bits and a bit of research going on the fly. But thank you, everyone, if you have managed to stick into this part. If you think we're being silly and 1.2 is there for Azure again, then maybe I should log into my Azure portal and have a look. No, we haven't got time. Yeah. We've talked far too long already.
Yes.
But thank you, Frank. Thank you, listeners. And if you want to come and join us on the show, come in for an interview episode. We're always looking for people. Just come with a topic.
Yep.
Perfect. Thanks very much,
everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.